So the other day I woke up and I was drawn to a video on YouTube by Matt Kahn. Yeah, Matt Kahn, Kahn. I'm familiar with him. I haven't really followed his stuff, but I know of him. So I don't even know what to label him other than a channel. He channels energy, collective energy, individual energy, a consciousness guide, those type of labels, I guess you can put on him. And so I watched his video, and he's the way he's describing 2024 from an energetic perspective. He uses the word quickening. There's a quickening going on. And that really resonated with me in terms of what we're experiencing collectively from an energetic standpoint. And so I looked at this new moon in Aquarius, which is ruled by Uranus, and now we have Pluto, which has entered Aquarius or in that transition period. And so I talked a lot about foundational stuff at the end of last year, where there was this foundation that was being built, and there was little tweaks and subtle adjustments that were being made, and layering that was being put down, so that I'm going to use that word because I like it, quickening that's taking place here in 2024. We are able to, at least let me state it this way, because I was heard stop. So stop in terms of what I was going to say. So what I'm feeling here with the foundational energy and how that's supporting us going into 2024 is you have the ability with this foundational energy to be able to face the quickening that's coming here in 2024 in a way that's more centered, more grounded, more understanding, more aligned, even when things are coming out of the blue or didn't go as you expected, or there's dramatic changes, or there's upheavals, or there's strife, or there's discord, or there's shadow stuff coming out, maybe within yourself, maybe within other people. And so that's part of the energy here in 2024 is a lot of these things percolating to the surface. And so we're not officially in the Pluto and Aquarius generation. We're in the middle of a transitionary period. And so you're going to see some rumblings and some things taking place this year that are indicators of more of what's to come. And how that impacts you individually, there's many factors for that. But just keeping it from an energetic standpoint overall, I feel this new moon in Aquarius, which I'm going to get into here in a second, is if you come out of a foundation and you start to build the house, so it's almost like before that starts to happen, it's tying up, and I've said this in another one of my readings too, it's like tying up loose ends, but anything that energetically you're still holding on to, belief systems or circumstances or you name it, fill in the blank, that is not going to serve you for your highest expression moving forward is going to come to the surface. And so with that said, let me pull up the chart here and I will walk through the energies that I'm seeing here with this new moon in Aquarius. It occurred to me when I was doing the full moon in Leo energy read that I did not look at the Sabian symbol, which is normally something that I just always feel I need to do when I do these reads. And before I did this reading, I was like, it felt really strong. It was really strong for me to go ahead and check out the Sabian symbols for a couple of these degree marks, certainly the 20 degree mark here with this new moon in Aquarius, and also for the 19-degree mark, which is where Uranus is, which is the modern ruler of Aquarius. So we have this new moon taking place here February 9th at around 200 at around 2 minutes 58 at around 2:58 p.m. here in the Pacific Northwest of the United States, PST. So here's a representation of that new moon in Aquarius. And so the aspects that I'm going to pull in here to this read are we have a square to Uranus over here in Taurus. We have, it's not being displayed here, but there's really a supportive sextile aspect here to this new moon. And then we have the trine, the supportive aspect down here to the south node of the moon. So I feel like I want to just go to the Sabian symbol, but let me just feel into the energy here first before I do that. So with this new moon, with it being in support of the nodes of the moon, supporting the direction you need to go in, which is Mars energy. Mars, which is the ruler, which is blending energies here with Venus. They're doing their little dance here where they're in close proximity to one another. They're actually going to form a conjunction in the sign of Aquarius. So if you take the Capricorn archetype and put it into the archetype of Aries, which we have here, it's what I get here is you usually think of Mars is taking energy. It's energy moving out from the center, but there's more of a spiritual component to it, which means it's like feeling the squeeze. That's what I get with the Capricorn energy. There's like this squeezing effect. There's like this, I think I used the term vice grip in my last read for the full moon in Leo, where circumstances or relationships or things have potentially at this period of time come to the surface, which is adding some tension, some feeling squeezed, some not quite sure where to go, feeling boxed in type of an energy. And so what this new moon in Aquarius is, what I'm feeling energetically is, can you trust that you're being supported? Can you trust that whatever is happening right now needs to happen? There's a specific reason for it. It's trying to show you something, or it's trying to wrap something up, or it's trying to alert you to things that maybe you were unaware of that absolutely need to get addressed prior to what's to come for you through the rest of 2024. So certainly that can deal with relationships. We have Mars and Venus that are together in Capricorn. So think of committed relationships. We also have the nodes in Aries and Libra, Libra being the sign of relationships and finding harmony and balance and trying to make things fair within relationships as part of this energy. And then we have the square to Uranus, which is the modern ruler of Aquarius. That's a terrible arrow. Hold on one second. Let's try that again. So we have the square, wasn't much better, but you get it. Square to Uranus over there in Taurus. And so whatever is taking place right now from an energetic standpoint for you, Uranus and Taurus, with Uranus now going direct, you have Jupiter in Taurus direct, and essentially we have everything direct now. So the energy flowing outward, Uranus and Taurus is going to be downloads. It's going to be quick changes. It's going to be things that come out of the blue. It's going to be stuff coming in sideways. Ultimately, with Uranus and Taurus, along with Jupiter and Taurus, it's supporting your foundation. Whether you feel like it is or not is how you receive it, but that's really what's happening here. And then we have this square, which is a tension aspect, which means I'm not quite sure what this means. I'm not quite sure what direction to take, or the way that I had thought about things in the past maybe are coming to the surface to re-examine them. Or the other thing that I'm getting here is I had it and then lost it. So hold on one second. The best ways for me to support myself moving forward are being revealed through this. And I'm in the middle of it. And usually when you're in the middle of something, so think of in the middle of a relationship, in the middle of a work situation, in the middle of a specific circumstance, think of anything that you're placed in the middle of and your energy is being consumed by it, where you don't really have the opportunity to be objective, to be able to look at the bigger picture because you're just simply in it. You're experiencing it. You don't know what it means yet because you're just meant to experience it. And so that's an energy that I'm getting here, is that in this vice grip or feeling this tension, you're in the middle of it. So it's really important not to try to figure it all out right now. It's to really just be present, stay aligned, connect with your inner guidance so that you can get clear direction on what to do, which often for a lot of us turns out to be very different than what our mind is creating, or what our mind will think up in terms of strategies or writing things down and trying to figure out the circumstance that we're in. When you get quiet, when you get calm, when you get centered, and you really lean into that place and work on getting in tune with your inner guidance, often the inner guidance is, there's a couple things where you can identify this guidance that's being given to you. One of them is when you get the information, there's a calming effect. There's, even if your external seems like it's turbulent, or you're not sure, or you got pushed down a certain path that you were like, why am I here? When you get into that space, there's a calmness that comes through you, and you'll get clear direction in terms of there's nothing you need to do right now, or just wait, give it time is another thing, or you name it, fill in the blank. Your internal guidance will give you the direction, but there's certain criteria that you can lean into or become aware of, or recognize that this guidance is something that is legit and I need to follow it over what my analytical or strategic mind is creating, or different thoughts that are getting generated through the circumstance. So it's really important to get into a calm space where you can quiet the thoughts, you can quiet your mind. One thing I do is put my hand over my heart and just get into this space of, like, I feel like it's just zoning out. It's just like listening to if there's any noises going on in my environment, just picking up on the subtle noises, focusing on my breath, and getting into a place where I'm creating a blank canvas. I'm creating this space of, I'm creating this openness to allow my guides, my higher self, to instruct me, to say, show me. I want to connect with you, and I want to be able to navigate this with the higher knowing being able to tell me what's going on here, rather than just my mind. Because my mind can get me down rabbit holes, or it can have me go in different directions that are actually very much against where I need to be going. Or let's just say where I could be focusing my energy, which is going to help me navigate this in a much more calm and clear way. And so I know I kind of went off in a tangent there, but it's just what came through for me with this energy. The other thing here, there was something else. Oh, well, yeah, there's the sextile to the North Node here. And we still have this energy, which I've been talking about with Chiron, the North Node, and Eris, which can be what I'm getting in this reading is, and I've got it in other readings too, is a difficult energy. It's an energy of deep healing, Chiron. Eris is an energy of strife and discord. It's one where shit has to come to the surface. Things need to be shown within you, within other people, within your circumstances. You know, taking it to a personal level for me, how I've experienced coming into this year is I kind of had this feeling that there was going to be changes. My mind was creating a certain way that the changes were going to take place, where things would be more peaceful and more easy. And it's actually been the exact opposite of that. It's been a lot of circumstances that have changes that have caused a lot of anxiety and turmoil within me. And so I've really had to, it's like I'm being forced to the internal guidance to help me navigate it. And so I'm like, okay, well, what's the meaning of all of this? What does it mean, right? In that silent space. And in that silent space, it's like you're in the middle of it. It's all okay. All of this needs to come to the surface. There's a specific way to navigate this. And here's how to do it. And so when I received that guidance, I was like, oh, that feels good. Now my mind will kick up again at certain points and I'll be like, well, hold on. I'm like, there's certain things here that I feel that I need to do. And so I kind of go down those avenues or those roads in terms of what I'm thinking mentally. And I can feel my body getting tense and I can feel a little bit of anxiety kick in. And then usually at some point I recognize that and I'm like, okay, stop. And I go back to that calm place. I close my eyes, go back to the silence, connect in. And I'm like, okay, what do I need to see here? And again, I get brought right back to where I was prior to the mental activity, which says, hold on, you're good. Everything that we've been telling you up until this point is still very much valid. This is all part of the process. It's all part of what needs to come to the surface. You are fine. Keep going. Connect with us as often as you need to. We're here. Just keep going. And so I don't feel this is unique to me. I don't feel that I'm unique. It's certainly something that I'm being instructed to say in this reading. So everyone has this ability to do that. And you may watch this and you could say, yeah, I already know that. Or you can be like, that's totally foreign to me. That's crazy. I've never navigated my existence in that way. How the heck do you do that? It's like, it's not unique to me. It's something that everybody can do. And so there is a process and a way that you can do it. And so if you felt like you needed some assistance there, you can reach out to me. How will I do this? I will put my email address below in the description box. You can send me an email and you can explain to me where you're at and we can take it from there and I can kind of see if I can help. If I can't help, I will let you know that too. And so I'm just open to, if you have some questions or there's certain things going on and you are curious if I can help in some way, you have an avenue to be able to reach out to me and I can potentially offer some assistance. So let's see if there's anything else here with this new moon in Aquarius from a chart perspective. I don't think so. I really want to go to the Sabian symbol because I really think that that captures this energy pretty well. And so let me flip over there now. So here is the Sabian for the 20 to 21 degree mark of Aquarius, which is where this new moon is taking place. It'll be at 21 degrees, I think 40 minutes. So this one is a woman disappointed and disillusioned. So facing emotional pain with stoicism. So that is this mark here of this new moon in Aquarius. So the energy here is one of very much in line with this Uranus in Taurus energy, which I've said this before. Taurus is a fixed sign. Taurus likes there to be like stability. It likes to have a firm understanding of what it needs. It likes to be able to have, or let's say there can be with Taurus an attachment that gets built up to certain things, certain people, certain situations, certain environments. And when we have Uranus going through Taurus, especially this degree mark here with the Sabian, things, the Uranus side of Taurus is things have to shift. And a fixed sign doesn't like change. A fixed sign is like, no, I want things the way they are. I'm comfortable. I'm in a zone. This feels good for me. But in order for you to keep moving forward and to evolve, there has to be a shakeup. And so that's that energy I was getting of you can be experiencing as part of this time period things that are really going to challenge your comfort, your safety, the things you've been attached to, the things you rely on. All of that has the opportunity right now to be shifted. And so how you face that is going to be unique to you. And so the guidance I really feel strongly here is, and the guidance that's kind of given here by James Burgess is sometimes shit goes down. Sometimes things go completely different than what we thought. And so the way to handle those is to be able to understand that, okay, I got it. This isn't exactly what I envisioned or anything like what I envisioned, but I know this has purpose. I know this has meaning. I know this is trying to show me something, and I'm open to seeing it. I'm going to take responsibility. I am not a victim. Anything that happens to me is happening for a reason. It's trying to show me something. And so I need to face reality, face what's happening, understand the actions that I need to take at this period of time and doing them from a place of being centered, which I described, which is quieting the mind, getting to a quiet place, seeking and making a connection to your inner guidance to be able to say, okay, show me the way through this. What do I need to say? What actions, if any, do I need to take here? If I don't know what actions to take right now, can you show me? Can you give me signs? Can you point me in the right directions? And use that navigation device to point you in the right direction. And so this is the degree mark for the new moon. And then I'm going to flip to where Uranus is right now, which is at 19 degrees and some minutes in the sign of Taurus. And so this one is wind, clouds, and haste. And it's tied to spiritual forces. So I'm going to read this because I read this and I was like, I think this is pretty spot on. So I'm just going to go with it. So energies and beings from other realms expressing themselves through our willing participation with an unseen spiritual forces. So I contribute this to what I'm talking about getting silent, working with the greater part of who you are, working with however you label that, universal forces, God, your higher self, you, whatever you label it, whatever you feel resonates for you. It's really important at this time to really build a strong connection with that side of you. And so he says here, each step we take towards soul realization is met and matched by the soul, therefore is blessed and supported by unseen forces, which can be called angels or explained as the operation of the superconscious aspect of self. Their signature often appears to us and always in a disguised and metaphorical form, especially following a significant breakthrough. From this, we can gain clues to what might be our best course of direction for the next step of our long journey. And I think he nailed it there. This is exactly what I was feeling with this energy. Is it's really going to be important to check in with your knowing self, with your higher self, with your guides, to be able to navigate this time frame and to be able to set the right perspective in terms of you're not a victim. There's a reason for this, taking responsibility and really becoming clear and aligned and taking actions from that place. So as always, I appreciate your time and your energy. Thank you so much for checking this out. And I will talk to you again in another video. Take care.